Well, the Australian Defence Force is desperate to de-alpha the Special Forces, apparently. That's according to a review which is currently underway, and it found that not a single woman has ever passed Australia's elite SAS process. But top Army officials say that's about to change. My next guest is Australia's leading military fiction author. He's a podcast host and leadership and resilience consultant. He's also been in the Army for 20 years, including as a commando platoon commander and a member of the Tactical Assault Group. Bram Connolly joins me now from Perth. Hello, Bram. Now, I wasn't surprised to hear that not a single woman has ever passed Australia's elite SAS process. I've had a personal view about that, and I've debated it at length when I was in the Senate with the now Defence Minister, because my personal view was that reducing the requirements to get in would actually undermine operational capability. Now, as someone who's been there and done that, you have a slightly different perspective. Is that right?
Yeah, I do. G'day, Cory. How are you? I do have a different perspective on that, and I think that there's a requirement for us to think about the future of warfare and what that looks like. You know, there's an old maxim that you can't mass produce special forces in a nation's time of need. And I'd go so far as to say that if we intend to be competitive and win wars, we need special forces that isn't just strong, fit and agile, but also has a diversity to operate across the operations continuum, because any of our enemies in the future certainly will have that. So knowledge will be the weapon of the future.
Well, as we evolve, I guess, the Special Forces, and particularly, say, the SAS, has typically had a surveillance and reconnaissance role. A diverse workplace or diverse members of the SASR would be an advantage in that, particularly if you're placing people in situ in crowded cities or in areas where to be the cookie cutter mould might make them stand out a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that, you know, we probably both violently agree that there's a need for defence to market special forces better, because there's certainly women out there that can pass the selection course now. It just hasn't probably been something that they've wanted to do or have needed to do. What we have to understand is diversity actually equals resilience. And the diverse team is the most resilient team. Resilience equals mission success. If you have a more diverse team, it means that they can absorb greater shock. If there's diversity of thought, diversity of gender, diversity of experiences, then they've probably seen something before that will give them more of a tactical advantage. But what's really important is that our leaders, and we're certainly getting better at it, and we have over the last decade, are creating, you know, and I know that a lot of people will roll their eyes with this, but the whole safe space issue is actually given a bit of a bad rap as it's associated with weakness, but it's actually a position of strength for a leader to develop a culture of inclusion. It alleviates bullying, but it also means that diverse team, those members they feel safe and valued to speak up and talk about things. And that is where they get their diversity from. And I think that is where the ADF is going in the future.
Well, Bram, what about the tip of the spear, the elite special forces who are expected to go in to combat zones and to do things that many others are not capable or unwilling to do? I have enormous respect for them, but I also understand the bond, the brotherhood, the camaraderie that builds around a very tight, close-knit group of people. Is there any impact, do you think, if you threw diversity or gender diversity just for the sake of it into that bonding process?
Yeah, look, I just don't agree, Cory, with that. And, you know, I'm a conservative, but I don't agree. I think equality means that we have our whole nation, we've got both genders that we can choose the best from, and we can create a more cohesive, tighter knit group anyhow, when we've got both sides of the gender being able to be drawn upon. And, you know, we really need to think about what this argument is about. It's not just about equality. The future of warfare, it might be here sooner than we think. Drones on the battlefield, smart munitions, nano weapons, cyber attacks. None of these threats are going to be countered solely by having a Spartan-esque force of 100, 200, 1,000 years ago. We need smart, agile warriors at our disposal from all different, diverse flavors, and we're only going to get that if we have the whole nation to draw upon.
Bram, that's why I wanted you to come on, because I know you're a deep thinker about these things and you think about the future. You're a great leader, and I thank you for your service, and thanks for your time tonight.
Thanks, Cory. I appreciate it, mate. Keep up the good work.